click this, and then say, yo, what up?
What up?
How's it going, man?
Good. How about yourself?
It's well. Todoroki 3, my first look at any of these chibi characters. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Hit me with the pitch, homie. What's Todoroki 3 got going for him?
So, I've been watching your tier list, going over the first look at the chibis and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And you said Todoroki 3 has the enhance of 1.3 million volts. I just went, let's just make a deck where you put 1.3 million volts enhance and then his enhance on top of that and just hit full game.
Makes sense. Makes total sense. Okay. So there's the pitch. What do you need my help with?
Mostly just the foundation lineup and the blocking lineups. Because I don't know if you can see it, but the low blocks are not the best.
You got 24 low blocks, 42 mid blocks, and 19 highs. You have an 85 card deck.
It's yeah, it was the highest that was going, and then shave down the deck what I don't need.
Oh, okay, yeah, we'll shave it down.
The main premise of the deck is just basically stun out my opponent, use Shoto's enhance to discard the character cards, and then come in, freeze what I don't want them to ready back up, and then just kind of stun lock them out of the game.
I love that. So I have bad news. I got bad news. You and I both misread this character card. Will you read that top enhance out loud for me?
Give me 1 second to get back to it. It says...
This is the worst out loud I've ever heard.
I know, sorry.
It's okay.
Alright, here we go. The first or second?
The first enhance. Top enhance.
The top enhance. Discard 1 character from your stage, commit, and freeze 1 rival foundation.
You cannot have twices in your stage.
Why is that?
Because your name is Shoto Todoroki 3. You can only have Shoto Todoroki 3s in your stage. You cannot have any other character card in your stage at all.
Okay. I thought you could build character cards, and they just will blank.
You can build character cards. They are Todorokis. You get to only build Todoroki 3s. You can't even build Todoroki 2s or 1s. Unless we're playing a different format, right? So the first thing we have to do is we have to get rid of twice.
Okay. Which is fine with... the main thing that I was looking at with Trice is, like, he has some cool stuff with character cards also, so maybe, like, could possibly side into them, but that would just be put him in the sideboard.
True. Very, very true. With that out of the way, it does mean that we get to move around some attack stuff, right? Like, how do you feel about things like Whiplash and Double Trouble as cards that you're allowed to play?
Yeah, I feel perfectly fine about that.
Okay.
The main thing that I was trying to do was, especially when I had the Trices in there, was, I would discard 1, play that attack, cycle them back into my hand so that I can build them again eventually, and then keep going with it.
Yeah. I love Measured Violence in this deck. It's very, very cool. Play a Todoroki, play Measured Violence, build in Todoroki. Insane. Very, very cool.
Only with Trice being out of it, the only attack that I would consider ditching would be the one that has a Trice enhance on it, and then you just discard 1, draw 1.
Is this card not in your deck? Weird. We'll add that one, and we'll add this one. This card's not in your deck. Yeah, this seems pretty good. Sorry, we're just looking. We're looking. What's up with Crawling Ice Geyser? Thoughts on that guy?
I'm sorry?
Thoughts on Crawling Ice Geyser? This is the first time I've ever seen this this card in a deck. What drew you to this one?
Mostly the freeze one committed foundation.
Yeah.
That was the main thing that I put in there, was just to be more consistent with because what I was thinking was, like, if I would go up against a Midoriya or one of the big characters, especially Midoriya, if they get the one with nature online, just no. Just say no to it.
Yeah. That's fair. It's interesting. There's a lot of really cool ideas that you get to have with this character. Did you know that he says he doesn't say non-throw? Yeah.
I did see that. I was thinking about balance, but I was like, I've been kind of flipping back and forth between balance and chaos, but then I was like, let's just go with chaos. It looks like I've played a couple other characters on chaos, so.
Yeah. Look. All right. I got a sideboard for us. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, right, is we're just gonna slam Double Trouble out of our deck. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Boop. So here's the cards that I have included, right? First and foremost, Extendo Hairstrike. This seems like a really easy thing to just like slam 5 damage on and feel great about it. To like help you find lethal. It's got stun 1. It's if you have any amount of momentum, it's just like a bunch of speed. The next one is Zero Gravity Lift, because like just putting plus 5 damage on this is pretty good. And then lastly,
I didn't think about that yet.
Ice Storm, just to Breaker 2 them, right? Because like Breaker 2 is just like a good ability to keep your 7 hands character alive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. With that said, though, like this is like blocking with Todoroki's feels very good as like your mid block that you would hold in your hand, and so like having a 0 mid block versus a 2 mid block is like questionable. Like what do you want to hold?
Yeah. It's kind of like do I want to disrupt them with checking higher, or do I just want to go I'm living, boom?
Yeah. I really like Electric Jolt. I really like Giant Ice Wall. I think Indiscriminate Shock needs to be a 4 of in order to make this idea work.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
It also covers like your low block. I'm down to keep the Crawling Ice Geyser. I think that is like a neat idea, and I want you to play test with it because it's a cool new card. I need you to sell me on Sudden Death Assault though.
The main thing that I was doing was it's a second kill con with Indiscriminate Shock. So like if my Indiscriminate Shock misses, I can just go, okay, I got a bunch of momentum, slam you for a ton of damage again.
Okay, I think that's completely and totally fair. I think it just needs to be Ice Storm instead.
Yeah, once you said Ice Storm, I was like, yeah, let's just go ahead and swap those out.
Let's do this, and then Air Cannon Blast. What's going on with this guy?
It was mostly if they block, I get 2 foundations committed.
Okay. I think this is probably the easiest thing on the chopping block, just because like we've got 57 or 27, 57, essentially 57 attacks in the deck. I think this card is just not going to pull its weight because of all the stun you already have. I think that you don't need it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then okay, so next question: what's this number going to be?
I was wanting to play it at a little bit of a higher than I normally go, so like anywhere from like 68 to like 73 would be fine.
Okay. I think that's acceptable. At 68-73, this is a totally valid deck. I love Whiplash in a deck like this because you get to pick back up your Todorokis. This is the most blocked move of all time, because it's a 4 for 6. But the EX2 feels good, and so like maybe it is worth it. At the same time, you've got Electric Jolt that also has EX, and so like there's the thing, you just get to slam 5 damage on and feel fine.
Yeah.
And this is just better. I love this at like a 3 of, and then Measure Violence at like a 2 of. Because I think that this card is really, really cool to play, honestly, as your 5th move, and then slam the +5 damage on it. So it's like a 7 damage move out of nowhere. I think that's really, really cool. Or like you Measure Violence into an Indiscriminate Shock, make it a 5 for 7, 5 for 7 plus X, 5 for 7 plus X plus 5. It's very cool, you know?
Yeah. And then, so with the attack lineup, what do you think? Because I want to add Zero Gravity Lift in now. I would like to add it in. What would you suggest taking out for it?
The easy answer is just Measured Violence because it's the high block, right?
Okay.
Have you tested this deck at all? Do you know what Measured Violence feels like?
I have not tested it at all.
I would test it with the Measured Violence first and see if you enjoy it, and then be like, if this card is not pulling its weight, you should test the Zero Gravity Lift, because it's very easy to understand the value of an 11 damage throw. It's very hard to understand the value of build in your character card, be able to use the ability +2/+2 in this other, like this card has more nuance involved to it than Unga Bunga Big Throw, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Assets and actions. We got Cremation. It says pay a health, your thing gets actual speed, so whatever you, it's essentially +3/+5 is the goal here. Whatever you slam the 5 damage from Todoroki on, you just slam with Cremation.
Yeah.
And then League of Villains, because you're playing a bigger deck, you're playing a slightly, hopefully is a slower deck, you have the time to cancel stuff. And also, if you are committing and freezing foundations, and they have any chance to use their playable committed, sometimes your opponent is an idiot and they die to the bottom response. They're just an absolute bonobo. They're just like one of the dumbest people on the entire planet, and they just lose to the League of Villains response because they play an ability on their cool Toga card. And it loses them the entire match. They would have won that turn, but since they're just so rocks for brains, they lose, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Or they just go like autopilot. Oh yeah, I'm playing Toga. Let's do crazy stuff, and now I'm like, ban for a bunch.
Yeah. And then you officially get to call them just an absolute dummy. So yeah, thoughts on Cremation, League of Villains?
Definitely throw in League of Villains. Probably should throw in Cremation. I just don't know the exact ratios of what we want. 2
is good. If you feel like you're missing it, toss in a 3rd. From here, let's talk about our foundations, right? I'm going to talk about the cards that I don't like, because I just put in a bunch of good stuff, chaos things that I've talked about a million times, right? So I want to talk about some of the things that you chose, right? Expanding Capacity at a 4 of. Speak to this. Why is this card in your deck at a 4 of?
At a 4 of is a little bit hard. It was mostly just put more speed and damage on stuff.
This is the coolest 1 of, and you can't convince me to play any more than that. I want to take it completely out of your deck because of like it's way better to use your momentum on a giant ice wall to give your next move stun 2, so that you just like stun 2, stun 2, stun 1 +5, right? Like that's way better than +3/+3. But I'm down for the cool 1 of. Frame of Mind. What's going on here?
I was just thinking for when I don't see like the exact line that I want, but I have like a couple good attacks. Especially with it was mostly there for when I still had the, what is it called? The one with Trices and Ants on it. The Echo.
Yeah.
So I could just do Echo, pick it back up, play it again, Echo.
I think that's Finger Guns, and you're not playing that card.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're to cut frame of mind. Effortless movement. Tell me about this one. After you take 3 less damage from an attack, draw a card twice per turn if you've played 2 or more cards of the same name, +1 speed or +1 damage.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was kind of going with the same idea of the Echo, so it probably can just go now.
It's gone. Do I know you? Beautiful. Love this card. It lets you pick back up your cards. Decode Duplicate. Probably is going to be closer to a 2 or a 3 of, and you would just sideboard the extra one. Uraka's Encouragement. First form, remove. Search your deck for 1 character card, add it to your hand. First form, remove. Add a non-unique foundation from your discard pile to your hand. I think this is a super cool one of, but you already have Do I Know You under this symbol, so I don't actually think you need this card. I think that this card is a worse version of what this card's got going on for it. This does say first form, remove, +1 hand size, but the +1 hand size is a character you can't. It's a character card, right? You're losing the foundation as opposed to losing a card and hand flipping. I think that you should play this at the 1 of.
Okay.
Basic training is great. Struggling, One Nature is great. Struggling is great. Confused. Are you afraid of throws? Is that what this is?
I'm a little bit afraid. I've just I played EH1 on Void for a long time, and that card has saved me so many times in that deck.
Sure.
And it seems like it's doing the same job that it would in this deck, just like if they have a foe, I'm not going to take the foe damage, or if they have, like especially with Midoriya, take away punch from something, he can't do his thing.
Yeah. League interview. Sell me on it. Especially at a 3 of.
3. It probably shouldn't be a 3 of. It was a 6 check, and it helps me block. That was really all I had with it.
I want to cut it because we have release, and that this just does a better job more consistent job than this. And you're not playing 6 diffs, so like we don't need the extra whatever. Release of the 4 of makes sense. Irrefutable makes sense. Self-assured. I'm gonna put it at a 1 of. I think turning your opponent's moves into mids, blocking with a character card is very, very cool. I like the innovation here. It's unique, and not every move that we're playing is ranged, right? I've got 4, 8, 10, 12. So if all of these are in my discard pile, this card says draw 3. And if all of these are in my discard pile, there's no reason to draw because these are the best cards in my deck.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, this card is here exclusively to turn these into very good blocks. From there, what does that do at our list? 61, that means we have a lot of room to play with, and our blocks are fairly even. Let's talk about the cards that I want to add. First and foremost, easily excited, incredible. Very, very good card. Feeling cute, incredible. Chivalrous, incredible. Encouraging your partner, incredible. I think you easily get to just slam 4 of this, slam 3 of this, slam 4 of this, slam 2 of this, and then that's probably the number of cards that you want. Right? And then,
so with encouraging partner and chivalrous competitor, what are the ideas behind that? Why do you want those so bad?
Chivalrous competitor says enhance flip, draw 1 card. Which means that's another card for 1 with nature, which means it's another chance that Indiscriminate Shock actually gets to hit them. Because that's +2 speed. And it also says that you get to build an additional card. And then let's pretend that my opponent is doing the exact same thing that you're trying to do to them. Your 4 speed encouraging 4 speed move says that I actually get to block with my Todoroki and survive.
Okay.
Yeah. Or let's say that you play the Indiscriminate Shock expecting to Todoroki them for the extra stats, and they respond with 2 Specialists of Sounds. It's a -3 for, it doesn't matter how much it is. Well, actually it's 4 now. and then I'll cremation on top, and then one with nature. So you committed your 2 foundations. I stunned you, put its speed to 4, gave it extra speed +2 to your block mod, extra damage, then used Todoroki. Hey, thanks for committing those extra 2 foundations for me. All right, I'll kill you with my indiscriminate shock. Right?
Okay.
This card is both useful offensively and defensively. It's very, very strong.
Okay. Yeah. Well, looks good then.
Yeah. Here is the #1 issue with this deck. It is 74 cards. You wanted it to be bigger, and that's okay. We have 21 attacks, which means it's going to be very, very hard to string these together. You are going to have to sculpt exceptionally well. First big things on the cutting block, first big things on the cutting block, expanding capacity. One of these decoy, you could cut all of the decoy duplicates and just block better. Raka's encouragement, a couple of these struggling with studies, the self-assured, the first day of class. All of those are League of Villains if you wanted to, although I think the card's kind of cracked. All of those cards easily get to be on the cutting block if you feel like you are not drawing well enough, right? But you said you wanted a slightly bigger deck, and so that's where we're going to leave it so that you can test a bunch of cool ideas, you know?
Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
All right, man. Well, stay on the line long enough for me to shoot you a list, and then you have a good rest of your night, okay?
You too.
All right. We'll catch you, buddy.
See ya.